MVP race over?
I believe it is. I believe it is. Look, you have some people that look at the Greek Freak, and he's absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, I give him mad love and credit, but I give Budenholzer credit as one of the great, great coaches in this game. And obviously his arrival in Milwaukee has made a significant difference. When I look at James Harden, that ain't about Mike D'Antoni. That's about James Harden, who's averaged 29 per game at least for the last 4 years. I just want to say James Harden is sensational. He's one of the great offensive players we have ever seen in the history of this game. His ball handling skills, his J, his ability to draw contact, his mastery in terms of drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line more than anybody in the NBA. He's just a magician. He's something special. And when you consider the fact that there has been over 3 times at least he scored over 50, the number of times he scored over 40, the fact that he has dropped at least 30 on every single NBA team in this game. Over 29 of the teams in the NBA. And he scored over 30 on all of them. Chris Paul was out. Clint Capella was out. You know, Kenneth Faried wasn't even there. And this man has done what he's done as the league MVP, as the primary target, as the one being targeted by the opposition, and to still go out there and to have Houston in this position. Houston can actually win the championship this year. I know Golden State's the favorite, and we ain't betting against them. But Houston
coming around to my position, are you?
I am coming there. I am coming there. I'm not there yet, Max.
You don't really believe that.
I'm conceding to Max. I'm coming there. I'm not there, but I'm coming.
Yeah, Harden's got to do what he does in the playoffs.
He's that great. There's no question in my mind. As far as I'm concerned, Max, MVP vote's over. James Harden could sit down right now, and I'd give him the award.
If Harden can replicate his regular season performance in the playoffs, they could win it all. They can win it all. That's what I've been saying. I'll say this about James Harden in the MVP race. He has, by the slightest of margins, a force to pick right now. After that performance, I have Harden as my MVP. But it's far from over. Look, I don't think you can say, well, it's Budenholzer on the one hand for the Greek Freak. It's not D'Antoni for Harden. In fact, it's the Greek Freak and Harden that are responsible for their own greatness. You and I both agree with that, I'm sure. But who else deserves credit for the positions they're in? Yes, Budenholzer has done a great job with that team. But it's not just D'Antoni, it's Daryl Morey. When Daryl Morey, the GM in Houston, surveyed the landscape and thought, okay, you need a superstar to win a championship. There are none available. Who do we go and get? He identified Harden as a guy who people saw as a potential star, but was in fact a superstar waiting to be discovered. He made a great trade for him, and then he got a coach in D'Antoni who absolutely contributed to what Harden's doing. The only thing Harden does is shoot the three and get to the paint. I mean, he has the ability to do it, the step-back three and get to the paint and hit free throws, the Euro-stepping and all that stuff. But he's in a structure that allows him to do that on every single play. So if you're going to give Antetokounmpo, if you're going to give Budenholzer credit for him, you got to give D'Antoni and Daryl Morey some credit for Harden. I think that cancels out. So we're left with their play. Look, by the most advanced metrics, Stephen A., whether you look at PER or ESPN's overall ranking, it's either the Greek Freak 1 and Harden 2, but really 1A, 2B, or vice versa. The ESPN rankings have Harden barely ahead. PER at this moment, I believe, has the Greek Freak barely ahead. It's basically a dead heat. If you look at the number of wins their teams have, yes, the Bucks have the best record by like 5 games in the NBA, basically wire to wire, mainly because of the Greek Freak, but they have an excellent supporting cast, and James Harden kept his team afloat with no one. And then when his supporting cast came back, it's practically like they can't lose. But let's see what happens down the stretch run. No Brogdon, no Mirotic. Let's see what happens. This thing is not over. The Greek Freak can ball out and still win it. It is that close.
Well, I don't feel that way, and I don't feel that way for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're in the Eastern Conference. We spoke about that last week, combined with the fact that Budenholzer is there. Number two, even though Harden has benefited from D'Antoni's arrival, offensively, there were things that he was doing before D'Antoni ever got there. That's probably why D'Antoni took the damn job. Number three, last point, February 28th, Molly. Since February 28th, this is James Harden's numbers, points-wise.
Okay.
58, 42, 35, 31, 20, 28, 29, 41, 20, 31, 57, 61, and 28. in the West, I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's nothing to talk about. James Harden, if anybody has any damn sense, James Harden will be crowned a two-time league MVP when this season's over. And the only thing that left to be complained about is that damn bogus ceremony that they give at the end of the season by the Players Association. You play 41 nights in front of your home crowd, and you're in the postseason. You should host that MVP trophy in front of those fans. That's it.
Race is far from over.